Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately and listen to me. Do not move past this specific message today. I am not asking for your attention right now. I am warning you with absolute divine authority. This is not a coincidence, and the algorithm absolutely did not bring you here. God intercepted your feed at this exact second because a permanent timeline shift is happening in your reality. The enemy is working overtime to distract you right now. He wants you to swipe away and forget this truth. He knows that if you hear this verdict, your entire life changes forever. If you leave before the end, you will miss the exact prophetic instruction. You will forfeit the closure you have been crying out for. Lock your attention right now. Someone who treated you as completely replaceable is currently experiencing a full-blown internal system crash. It is a public and completely irreversible collapse. You know exactly who I am talking about. They walked around with absolute arrogance for years. They constructed a false narrative about you and whispered lies to anyone who would listen. They thought they could bury you in the absolute dark. They expected your departure to break your spirit completely, but they miscalculated the massive spiritual weight you carry inside. You became the uncertainty they were never built to handle. And now, the very people they used to gossip with are watching them unravel. Their mask has completely shattered. They tried to take your life and your energy, but God can take theirs instantly. And that is exactly what is happening in the spiritual realm right now. The walls are closing in on them from every single direction. They cannot sleep, and they cannot find peace anywhere. The dark energy they sent your way has violently returned to its sender. Buckle in, chosen one, because what you are about to hear is not just commentary. It is a specific and undeniable X-ray of the meltdown happening behind closed doors. They are frantically trying to fix the leaks in their sinking ship. But heaven has already signed the eviction notice. There is absolutely no appeal process for what is coming. You fought your heavy battles in absolute silence for so long. You thought nobody noticed your tears when you were left completely drained. You thought nobody saw how you held your integrity when they dragged your name through the mud. But you were utterly wrong about that. Heaven was watching every single moment of your quiet suffering. God documented every lie they told and every trap they set for you. The scales of justice are tipping violently in your favor right now. The universe does not ignore the tears of the beloved anointed ones. The delay you experienced was not a denial of justice. It was the incubation period for a punishment so severe it will shake their reality. They are going to a dark prison of their own making. Whether it is a physical jail cell or a mental cage of absolute torment does not matter. They will not escape the consequences of touching a demonstrated warrior of light. The spiritual protection around you has transformed into a sword of vengeance. You do not need to lift a single finger. Do not dare to look away from this screen today. The Matrix wants you blind to the victory that is unfolding right in front of you. If your spirit is vibrating right now, you must stay anchored to this frequency. This message was sealed in the throne room of heaven until this very moment. You are one of the rare two meant to hear it. They are currently drowning in the loud noise of their own destructive making. They are frantically searching for a replacement for your pure light, but they are realizing with sheer horror that your specific depth is utterly unreplicable. They threw away a priceless diamond just to play with cheap rocks in the dirt, and the deep regret is suffocating them. You might have felt a strange shift in the atmosphere lately, a sudden lightness in your chest, or a bizarre wave of exhaustion hitting you out of nowhere. That is the kinetic energy of their evil empire crumbling to the ground. Your highly advanced spirit is detecting the absolute panic of the enemies who permanently lost access to you. Stop wondering why they act like nothing ever happened. Stop waiting in wound for an apology from a master manipulator. They will never give you closure because their pride is a terminal disease. But heaven is about to deliver a closure so loud that the entire world will hear it. Their hidden sins are being dragged into the blinding light. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how your silence became a lethal weapon. You will see the precise mechanism heaven is using to dismantle their false kingdom. The final judgment has already been passed, and the heavy gavel has struck the wood. You are about to witness the greatest reversal of fate in your entire bloodline. This is the divine ultimatum you have been waiting for. Settle your spirit and prepare your mind for the raw truth. Because the people who tried to dig a deep grave for you are about to fall headfirst into it. Do not move a single muscle right now. The absolute unmasking of your greatest enemy begins right at this exact second. Now let us go deeper into what you are feeling right now. There is a physical reason you have been carrying that massive weight this week. You feel tired down to your very bones. Your shoulders are incredibly tight. And every morning when you wake up, the heaviness is already sitting on your chest before you even open your eyes. You push through and you smile for everyone. But inside you are barely holding on. You wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning with your jaw tightly clenched and your heart racing. Their face flashes violently in your mind. Listen to me very carefully right now. That is not anxiety, and you are absolutely not going crazy. That suffocating feeling is a direct spiritual attack on your nervous system. Your highly advanced spirit is detecting the chaotic energy of a massive frequency mismatch. You were acting as the ultimate stabilizer for a deeply broken environment. You poured your pure light into a bottomless pit of darkness. And because you are an empath, they used you as a human battery to power their fake reality. They drained your life force completely dry. You gave them pieces of your soul, hoping it would heal their hidden wounds. But parasites do not want to be healed. They only want to feed. Every time you tried to communicate your pain, you felt a burning sensation sitting right in your throat. You kept swallowing it back down every single time their name came up. Stop swallowing that poison today. You are completely exhausted from being the strong one all the time. They took your endless grace and they weaponized it against you. When you had nothing left to give, they treated you as a disposable object and walked away. You sat alone in the dark, wondering what you did wrong. But you did absolutely nothing wrong, chosen one. Your only supposed crime was having a heart that was too pure for their toxic matrix. You are a rare diamond who got locked inside a room full of sharp stones. They could not match your brilliant vibration, so they tried to scratch your surface and dim your glow to make themselves feel powerful. This was never a regular relationship or a normal friendship. It was a calculated spiritual battle for your destiny. They recognized the immense divine calling on your life before you even saw it yourself. The enemy sent them to extract your specific anointing and leave you as an empty shell. You have been carrying the somatic weight of their demonic attachments. Your body is physically fighting off a psychic infection. Read that last statement again in your spirit. If this raw truth is vibrating with your cellular knowing, do not move. You have spent months wrapped in a heavy mental fog. That thick brain fog was intentionally engineered to keep you confused and compliant. They needed you second-guessing your own reality so they could maintain ultimate control over your mind. But the fog is finally lifting right now. You are waking up from the deep trance they put you in. Your physical body is currently purging the venom they left behind in your bloodstream. That is why you feel so incredibly heavy and tired during the day. You are shedding a massive layer of spiritual trauma that does not belong to you anymore. They isolated you from the world to make you dependent. You felt like the black sheep wandering aimlessly in a barren wasteland. Even the flying monkeys turned their backs on you. They believed the elaborate lies because the truth of your immense light was too blinding. Their fragile egos could not handle your brilliant presence. Yet here you are still standing. They tried to bury you under a mountain of shame. They expected you to completely self-destruct in the agonizing silence. But they did not realize that you are a seed planted by God Himself. The heavy dirt they threw on your name only served to anchor your roots deeper. You grew much stronger in the dark. Every ache in your body is a testament to your survival. You took direct hits that would have permanently destroyed an ordinary person. But you are not ordinary. Your resilience is truly supernatural. The season of being a sacrificial lamb is officially over today. Heaven is removing the heavy yoke from your tired and weary neck. You no longer have to absorb their chaotic madness. The invisible cord connecting your pure energy to their dark void has been violently cut. You are going to feel a massive rush of vitality returning to your physical vessel. The universe is actively rushing in to restore every single drop of energy that was stolen from your sacred life. Listen closely, because this is the exact part the enemy tried to hide from you. They want you to stay stuck in the painful memories of what you lost. But you did not lose anything of true value. You simply shed the heavy dead weight that was actively blocking your ultimate timeline. Your physical exhaustion is just the final stage of this massive spiritual detox. If your spirit confirms this raw truth, gently press the like button to seal your energetic alignment with heaven. Breathe deeply and let your nervous system finally relax. You are safe now, and the divine protection around you is completely impenetrable. The people who drained you are about to face a reality they cannot manipulate. The massive shift has officially begun. Let me completely reframe your reality right here and right now. You probably thought their vicious attacks were a sign of your own weakness. You assumed you were losing the fierce spiritual battle because you felt so broken and tired. But here is the raw, uncomfortable truth they could never say out loud. Their dark attacks did not break you at all. They completely exposed them. You need to understand exactly why every single attempt to destroy you failed so spectacularly. They threw their heaviest dark artillery at your spirit, hoping to crush you. They orchestrated elaborate smear campaigns to ruin your pristine reputation. And they desperately wanted to see you crawl back and beg for their toxic mercy. But their entire manipulation miscalculated one fatal detail. They did not realize the massive identity of the person they were actually fighting. You are a demonstrated warrior of light with heavy spiritual backing. When they launched their demonic attacks against you, they were directly challenging heaven itself. And heaven absolutely does not lose battles. Every single curse they spoke over your life acted as a massive boomerang. This is the exact flawless mechanism of absolute divine alignment. You are the blinding mirror they desperately tried to shatter into pieces. When they looked at your pure light, they saw their own rotting souls reflected back at them. Your genuine kindness reminded them of the beautiful humanity they permanently lost. They hated you because you effortlessly possess the supreme grace they cannot buy. Their bitter jealousy consumed them from the inside like a raging wildfire. They thought by draining your precious energy, they could magically absorb your golden aura. They literally wanted to steal your identity and wear it like a cheap stolen costume. But your sacred anointing cannot be stolen or transferred by any dark entity. It is permanently etched into your cellular DNA. Think about how you look today compared to their rapidly declining state. Time was supposed to age you drastically after all that intense trauma. Yet here you are standing tall and making time itself look like a complete fool. You are stepping into an untouchable, ageless glow, while their deep bitterness is aging them rapidly. The physical contrast is absolutely shocking to witness. Every single malicious lie they told about you became the heavy shovel that dug up your ultimate treasure. They meant to bury you forever in the cold, dark dirt of absolute isolation. But that painful isolation was actually your divine formation season designed to shield you. God deliberately removed their toxic access so you could upgrade your energetic frequency in absolute peace. They are absolutely terrified right now because they can physically feel the massive shift. They know their dark magic completely failed to take your beautiful life. Now they are watching you rise from the heavy ashes with supreme authority. The cosmic tables have turned so violently that they are suffering from severe energetic whiplash. The universe is actively repossessing every stolen blessing. You are the legendary cycle breaker heaven has been waiting for this entire time. The generational curses and toxic patterns of your bloodline stop right here with you. Because you chose to endure the hot fire without becoming evil, you unlocked the ultimate vault of victory. They truly expected you to become bitter and hateful, just like their own miserable souls. Watch what happens next, because it is mathematically precise and absolutely undeniable. The strict spiritual laws of karma do not ever negotiate with arrogant narcissists. They cannot manipulate the sovereign universe with their fake charm and empty words. The dark, suffocating energy they generated is now permanently trapped inside their own daily reality. They cannot escape the hell they built. You did not just survive their brutal and chaotic storm, chosen one. You literally became the blazing sun that evaporated their entire pathetic existence. Your silent, unbothered grace was the most lethal weapon you could have ever deployed against their fragile egos. They are starving for your attention right now, but your energetic vault is permanently sealed shut. This brings us to a critical distinction that completely eludes the vast majority of people. You might wonder why they are still desperately pretending to be happy on the surface. Why do they constantly post fake smiles while their entire hidden kingdom burns to the ground? I will tell you exactly why they are doing it before the absolute public collapse. They are bleeding out spiritually and frantically trying to hide the massive, undeniable wounds. But the hungry sharks are already circling their rapidly sinking boat. The fake friends they gathered are slowly starting to see the huge cracks in their cheap plastic mask. The weak foundation of their lies is crumbling under the heavy weight of divine justice. Keep your spirit perfectly still and watch the glorious show unfold right before your eyes. Do not interfere with the heavy destruction that heaven has specifically ordained for them. Your only job right now is to stand incredibly tall and claim your supreme vindication. The intense pain you endured was simply the steep price of admission for your massive, upcoming harvest. You thought ignoring them was just a way to protect your peace, and you believed you were simply walking away to heal your broken heart. But you did not realize the massive psychological destruction you left behind. Your silence was absolutely lethal. It was the heaviest weapon you could have ever deployed against their fragile ego. It completely destroyed them. When a master manipulator loses their favorite target, they immediately malfunction, because they are completely addicted to your emotional reactions. They need your tears and your anger to validate their pathetic existence. But when you packed up your brilliant energy and went completely silent, you cut their oxygen supply. You starved their demons entirely without lifting a single finger. They expected you to write long paragraphs explaining your deep pain, and they wanted you to beg for the closure they were never going to give. And they desperately needed you to fight back so they could call you crazy. But you gave them absolutely nothing. You handed them a blank wall of absolute silence, and it is driving them completely insane. They thrive on your desperate attempts to fix the broken relationship, and they feed off the heavy somatic weight that crushes your chest during a toxic argument. But when you went full no contact, you abruptly ended the energy exchange. You took back every single drop of your sovereign power. The sudden drop in their fuel supply caused a massive internal system failure. You became the ultimate mirror by simply refusing to engage with their madness. Without your bright light to distract them, they are forced to look at their own darkness. The silence you gave them is incredibly loud and absolutely deafening. Every time they sit alone in a quiet room, your permanent absence screams at them. They cannot escape the heavy truth of what they did. Your restraint was absolutely not a sign of weakness or fear, but rather a calculated and devastating spiritual strike against their entire matrix. That single act of choosing your dignity over your revenge signed their permanent eviction notice. You handed the heavy verdict to a divine court. They cannot ever appeal. They are trapped in a prison of their own making. Listen to me very closely right now, because 99% of people completely miss this massive shift. While you were busy healing, they were busy spiraling into a deep, hidden madness. They constantly check their phones, hoping you will finally crack and reach out. But your absolute discipline is shattering their fragile reality every single day. They try to replace you with cheap imitations and superficial people, but those new people do not have your specific depth or your golden frequency. The new supply cannot stabilize their chaotic environment the way you effortlessly did. They are starving for a single drop of your pure validation, but the massive vault is locked forever and the key is thrown away. You are a demonstrated warrior of light who operates on a superior timeline, and you do not negotiate with spiritual terrorists who try to dim your authentic glow. By choosing silence, you completely starve the parasitic entity attached to them. They are wandering aimlessly in the dark, looking for a new energetic host, but your specific flavor of light is absolutely irreplaceable. This is exactly where their entire manipulation completely miscalculated, because they thought they held all the power when they discarded you first, or because they forced you into a corner where you had to walk away for your own survival. But the spiritual cost of their betrayal is compounding every single hour. Your silence is a massive debt collector knocking loudly on their door. They are experiencing a violent frequency mismatch inside their own mind. The toxic matrix they built is glitching because the core power source is permanently gone. You were the only genuine diamond they ever held in their dirty hands, and now they are forced to watch you shine brightly from a massive distance. They cannot touch your beautiful reality ever again. The panic is setting in deep within their rotting soul right now, because they realize that no amount of fake charm can bring back the heavy grace you provided. The people around them are starting to notice the bizarre cracks in their erratic behavior. They are becoming highly unstable and desperately loud to cover up their hidden terror. But the public collapse is absolutely inevitable. You did not need to scream or plot a vicious revenge plan against them. Heaven orchestrated the perfect retaliation by simply removing you from their presence. Unplugging from their toxic matrix was the most violent thing you could have done to them. You left them entirely alone with their own hungry demons, and those demons are currently eating them alive from the inside out. Read that again in your spirit and let it anchor your brilliant mind. You hold the ultimate power precisely because you refuse to play their dirty game. Your unbothered existence is the heaviest punishment they could ever endure. Stay perfectly still, chosen one, because the hidden madness is about to spill out. The final public breakdown is closer than you think. Heaven is now releasing 5 undeniable signs that their reality is collapsing. You need to watch this mathematical precision unfold. The universe is systematically stripping away every single blessing they took for granted because they thought their wicked actions would go completely unpunished. But divine justice operates on a strict timeline, and their time is officially UP today. Sign number 1 is the rapid and shocking decay of their physical vessel. While you are stepping into a permanent, ageless glow, they are visibly deteriorating. The heavy toxicity inside their soul is finally leaking out into their physical appearance, and they can no longer hide the heavy rot eating away at their core. They look incredibly tired. They feel deeply hollow. Their eyes have lost that fake spark they used to trap you. You gave them your pure vitality, and it kept them looking vibrant for a while. But that stolen energy has completely run out. They are aging rapidly because they are completely disconnected from the true source of light. They stare in the mirror and see a total stranger staring back. Sign number 2 is the sudden and violent collapse of their false resources. Everything they built on a foundation of lies is crumbling to dust. The financial doors that used to open easily for them are slamming shut. The universe is actively blocking their abundance because they mishandled a chosen one. Their golden touch has permanently turned into toxic ash. Type 777 in the comments right now to physically claim this incoming miracle and lock in your frequency. You must anchor your spirit to this specific divine shift. By typing those numbers, you are telling heaven that you are ready to receive the harvest they lost, and your active obedience guarantees your massive spiritual upgrade. Do it right now. Sign number 3 is the heavy paranoia infecting their daily life. They are losing their tight grip on the flying monkeys who used to do their dirty work. The people they manipulated are starting to whisper behind their back. They cannot trust anyone because they know exactly how fake their own loyalty is. They are constantly looking over their shoulder in pure terror. They sleep with one eye open because the spiritual attack they sent you has returned. It is knocking loudly on their bedroom door every single night. The heavy somatic weight you used to carry is now firmly planted on their chest. They are choking on the same thick anxiety they deliberately caused you to feel. Heaven is enforcing total energetic justice. This brings us to sign number 4. Pay close attention to this next part because the enemy tried to hide this from you. Sign number 4 is the complete withdrawal of their divine protection. God allowed them to thrive for a short season to test your incredible faith, but that protective grace period has permanently expired today. They are completely exposed. Every single bad decision they make now carries an immediate and brutal consequence. They cannot sweet-talk their way out of this cosmic trap. The matrix they relied on to save them is actively rejecting their dark frequency. They are standing completely naked in the middle of a massive spiritual hurricane, and they have absolutely nowhere left to hide. You must understand that this is not an accident. The universe is carefully orchestrating their downfall to restore absolute balance to your bloodline. You are the cycle breaker who forced this massive energetic correction. Your pure light was the ultimate catalyst for their spectacular undoing. Watch closely as the remaining pieces of their fake kingdom fall apart. Without heaven shielding their careless actions, every minor mistake becomes a fatal error. They are dropping the ball in their career and ruining their fake relationships. The people who once idolized them are suddenly disgusted by their erratic behavior. Their carefully crafted public image is melting like cheap wax under the blazing hot sun. You are witnessing the absolute unmasking of a demonic entity. The universe is stripping away their fake charm and their manipulative charisma. They walk into a room and people immediately feel a heavy and repulsive energy. They are literally repelling the very validation they desperately need to survive. They are starving in a world full of abundance. Sign number 5 is the ultimate sign of their permanent defeat. The final sign is their growing obsession with your soaring success. They are secretly watching your every move from the shadows of their own failure, and they see you glowing and thriving in ways they never thought possible. Your unstoppable momentum is driving them into a state of sheer madness. They desperately try to mimic your success, but it always falls completely flat. They cannot replicate the heavy divine anointing that rests on your sacred life. God gave you a specific blueprint that only responds to your unique DNA. While they try to copy your light, they only highlight their own pathetic darkness. They are a cheap counterfeit fading into total obscurity. Settle your spirit and let this undeniable truth wash over your tired soul. The heavy scales of justice have tipped permanently, and there is no going back. The universe has declared you the absolute victor in this silent spiritual war. Do not ever feel sorry for the intense karma they are currently drowning in. They earned every single drop of their heavy punishment. The atmosphere is incredibly heavy right now. The pressure is building to an absolute breaking point. The toxic empire they built on your back is shaking violently. The flying monkeys who used to do their dirty work are suddenly waking up from the deep trance. Those enablers are realizing they were manipulated just like you were, and the blindfolds are finally coming off their eyes. The fake loyalty they bought with cheap lies is quickly expiring. Those same people who helped crucify your name are now turning their backs on your enemy because they finally see the heavy rot spreading behind the fake smiles. The narcissist can no longer control the false narrative because their chaotic energy is too loud. The truth of your pure light is effortlessly outliving their dark and pathetic lies. They are desperately trying to host new smear campaigns against you, but nobody is listening to their pathetic noise anymore. The room goes completely quiet when they try to play the victim. People are actively rolling their eyes at their repetitive drama, and your unbothered silence has proven your total innocence to the crowd. The crowd is slowly turning into an angry mob. The narcissistic supply they relied on is completely gone. The people they used as human shields are stepping away in sheer disgust. Without their flying monkeys to protect them, they are left entirely naked on the battlefield, and they cannot defend themselves against the severe spiritual backlash. The heavy arrows of divine justice are pointing directly at their exposed chest. There is absolutely no place left to run or hide today. Now, I need you to imagine this exact scenario happening behind their closed doors. The enemy is pacing the floors of their house in pure panic. They are frantically scrolling through their phone, looking for a single ally, but their frantic calls are going straight to a cold voicemail. The heavy isolation they tried to force on you has become their permanent reality. They are totally and completely alone. They are drinking their own toxic poison right now. The intense paranoia is making them lash out at the few people left in their corner. They are burning their final bridges in a massive fit of demonic rage, and every word they speak is a desperate attempt to regain total control, but their frantic energy only pushes people further away. The isolation is absolute and permanent. You need to understand how massive this spiritual shift really is. You did not have to defend yourself or explain your side of the story. Heaven sent a spirit of confusion directly into the enemy camp. God turned their own allies against them to execute perfect vengeance, and the very people they used to gossip with are now gossiping about their rapid mental decline. The betrayal is hitting them incredibly hard. They are losing total control in public spaces. They are having bizarre emotional outbursts that expose their deeply fractured mind. The mask is slipping so often that everyone can see the grotesque monster hiding underneath. They look erratic, and they sound incredibly unhinged. The sophisticated facade they maintained for years has completely melted away, leaving only a terrified shell of a human being. People are actively pulling away from their toxic aura. The heavy stench of their karmic debt is physically repulsive to normal humans. They walk into a room, and the energetic temperature instantly drops to freezing. The Matrix is isolating them for the final phase of their severe punishment, while your vindication is being broadcast on a massive universal frequency. Everyone knows exactly what they did to you. They used to thrive in the dark corners of manipulation, but the blinding light of divine truth has flooded their entire filthy basement. The cockroaches are scrambling to escape the intense heat of God's heavy judgment. The flying monkeys are jumping off the sinking ship because they know a massive tidal wave is coming, and the enemy is left alone at the broken steering wheel. Their public meltdown is not a sudden accident. It is a highly orchestrated divine event designed to restore your stolen honor. Heaven is making a public spectacle of the entity that tried to destroy a chosen one. They wanted an audience to watch you fail miserably, so the universe is giving them a massive audience to witness their spectacular total ruin. The tables have completely turned. The pressure in their mind is building to a critical mass. They can physically feel the heavy sword hanging over their guilty head. They know that the ultimate blow is coming, and they are entirely powerless to stop it. They are choking on the severe anxiety of impending doom, and their nervous system is caught in a permanent state of sheer, undeniable terror. The end is extremely close. Let me completely reframe your reality right here and right now. The agonizing delay you experienced was not a denial of justice. It was the necessary time required to gather all their enablers into one single room. God wanted everyone who doubted you to witness the undeniable wrath of heaven, so the stage is perfectly set for the final devastating act. The curtain is finally rising today. Share this video with someone who is desperately waiting for this exact breakthrough. Be their angel today and confirm their cellular knowing. The remnant must unite as the Dark Empire finally crumbles to absolute dust. So do not move a single muscle because the heavy climax is about to drop. The complete destruction of their false reality is happening right in front of you. And here is the ultimate verdict we promised at the very beginning. The heavy gavel of divine justice has officially struck the wood. The public collapse you were waiting for in absolute agony, it just happened in front of the exact people they desperately tried to impress. The final devastating blow has landed with absolute cosmic precision. Their entire fake world just violently exploded. This is the exact cinematic moment heaven prepared for you. The universe did not just punish them in secret. God dragged their deepest hidden sins into the blinding spotlight of the public square. The heavy iron doors of consequence are slamming shut on them right now. Whether it is a physical jail cell or a mental prison of absolute torment, they are permanently locked inside. They are facing the brutal wrath of a legal or spiritual authority they cannot manipulate. The slick lies they use to escape accountability have completely stopped working. The judge, the public, and the universe are all staring at them with absolute disgust. The evidence of their malicious intent is stacked so high, it is suffocating them. They are drowning in their own undeniable guilt. Watch the total devastation wash over their terrified face. They are standing completely naked before the ultimate tribunal. Their bank accounts are freezing, their fake reputation is burning, and their carefully built empire is turning to ash. The heavy chains of karma are wrapping tightly around their neck. Every single tear you cried in the dark has morphed into a heavy brick in their cell. They wanted you buried deep in the dirt, but instead they became the heavy shovel that dug up your ultimate treasure. And now they are falling headfirst into the exact grave they dug for you. The panic in their eyes is absolute and raw. They are screaming for mercy, but heaven is completely deaf to the cries of a parasite. The universal eviction notice has been fully executed. The humiliation is absolute and completely inescapable. The people they used to mock you are now loudly mocking them. They are becoming the ultimate cautionary tale in their own social circle. The flying monkeys are testifying against them to save their own pathetic skin. The betrayal they orchestrated against you is happening to them on a massive, undeniable scale. The irony is absolutely sickening. They thought they were the untouchable masterminds of the Matrix, but they just realized they were merely pawns in your massive divine upgrade. Their wicked actions were only allowed so they could propel you into your permanent destiny. And now that their dark purpose is fulfilled, they are being discarded by the universe like absolute garbage. They are completely useless now. Listen to the deafening sound of their towering ego shattering into a million sharp pieces. They are frantically trying to sweep up the broken glass, but it is cutting their hands to shreds. They have absolutely nothing left to trade. Their energy is totally bankrupt. The demonic entities they partnered with to destroy you have turned around to devour their host entirely. This is the magnificent vengeance of heaven, chosen one. You did not have to lift a single weapon or speak a single curse. Your silent, unbothered grace was the lethal weapon that starved their demons and activated this explosive justice. The heavy scales are perfectly balanced again. The universe has violently corrected the massive frequency mismatch they forced on your life. They are desperately looking for a way out, but all the exits are permanently blocked with heavy stone. The walls of their reality are closing in faster than they can breathe. The severe anxiety you used to feel is now their permanent waking nightmare. They will wake up every single day knowing they threw away a rare diamond. The deep regret will literally eat them alive from the inside out. Do not dare to feel a single ounce of pity for them. Pure empathy for a demon is an insult to the divine protection covering your life. They earned every single second of this brutal, agonizing collapse. They are exactly where they belong in the spiritual hierarchy. They belong in the absolute dark, far away from your brilliant and untouchable golden light. The storm has officially passed over your house. The massive spiritual hurricane that destroyed their kingdom did not even touch a single hair on your head. You are standing victorious on the highest mountain while they drown in the murky floodwaters below. Heaven has placed a heavy crown of absolute vindication firmly on your sacred head. The heavy war is finally over today. Let this cinematic vengeance anchor deep into your cellular knowing. The matrix is broken and the narcissist is completely defeated. The massive spiritual debt they owed you has been paid in full by the universe. You are a demonstrated warrior of light who outlasted the darkest night of the soul. Step fully into your supreme power because the massive harvest is ready to be collected right now. You walked into this season bleeding heavily from wounds inflicted by people who were completely blind to your massive worth. They tried to destroy your beautiful life and steal your divine destiny. But look at you right now. You are no longer waiting in wound for an apology from a master manipulator. You have totally transcended their toxic matrix. While they are facing a public and irreversible ruin, you are stepping into your permanent and untouchable ageless glow. The heavy financial struggles and the deep spiritual exhaustion are shattering right here and right now. You are a demonstrated warrior of light who conquered the absolute darkest night. The brutal war is completely over. Breathe a deep sigh of heavy relief into your tired lungs. You are entirely safe now. The generational patterns that plagued your bloodline and the toxic cycles of deep poverty end right here with you. You are the cycle breaker heaven has been waiting for this entire time. Your pure light has permanently secured your massive victory. You are the ultimate stabilizer who carried the heavy weight of the world on your fragile shoulders. But heaven has permanently removed that massive burden today. You can finally rest your tired mind. The massive emotional debt they owed you has been paid in full by the sovereign universe. Your pure soul is completely and entirely washed clean. Every heavy tear you cried in the absolute dark has watered the magnificent garden of your ultimate future. The universe is actively turning your deepest pain into your greatest superpower. You will walk into rooms, and the atmosphere will instantly shift because of your massive anointing. The people who doubted you will have to watch you soar extremely high. They will physically choke on the heavy reality of your unstoppable success. You are no longer a victim of their calculated abuse. You are a supreme victor holding the heavy keys to the kingdom. Your majestic presence is a permanent reminder that the light always violently defeats the dark. Step fully into your completely untouched power right now. You are the irreplaceable diamond they threw away in the dirty mud, and now heaven has placed you in a royal setting where your true brilliance can blind the entire world. Do not ever look back at the heavy ruins of their collapsed kingdom. Your absolute focus must shift forward to the massive harvest that is rushing toward you at lightning speed. The cosmic vault of infinite abundance has been forcefully unlocked for you, but you must understand a critical spiritual law before you step inside. You did not survive the blazing fire just to live a mediocre and quiet life. The verdict of explosive abundance has already been signed by the absolute highest court in heaven today. But that divine decree requires a physical anchor on this earth to fully activate. God does not measure your faith by your quiet thoughts or your silent wishes. He measures your incredible faith by your absolute speed of obedience. When the heavy gates of heaven swing open, you must step through them without a single moment of hesitation. The window of divine multiplication is standing wide open right now. The enemy will try to whisper financial doubt into your left brain at this exact second. He will tell you to hesitate and to wait for a better time. You must absolutely silence that demonic whisper. That hesitation is the exact matrix programming designed to keep you completely broke. Heaven is not asking for your patience anymore. Heaven is demanding your immediate obedience to seal this permanent shift. If your spirit is vibrating with a cellular knowing right now, you must act immediately. Prove to the universe that you are finally ready to receive the massive wealth that was stolen from your sacred bloodline. Your active generosity is the heavy key that triggers the ultimate harvest. Sow your financial seed of faith today by giving a super thanks to partner your energy with this divine mandate. This is not a regular transaction. It is a powerful spiritual covenant that physically locks your golden frequency into the absolute highest dimension of wealth. When you sow your seed right now, you are actively telling the universe that you fully accept your heavy crown. You are permanently rejecting the poverty mindset they tried to force on you. Do not let the dark matrix block your massive financial shift. Step completely out of the heavy boat and walk on the water with absolute blind faith today. Heaven promises to multiply your harvest before the sun even rises tomorrow. Sow your seed right now and watch the massive floodgates open violently in your favor. Subscribe to this sacred sanctuary so you never miss the exact prophetic instruction heaven releases next. We are building the remnant army, and you are a vital leader in this massive war. Drop your city and your nation in the comments below so we can map where the pure remnant is rising worldwide. Say this out loud with me right now. I claim my permanent freedom. Now, type those exact words below to physically seal your heavy protection. You are absolutely free, chosen one. The glorious light is yours forever.